Alright, we have liftoff, and I am not competing in this tournament. Instead, I'm going to check out the games that are being played, such as this guy. He has beaten me, I believe. D. Galan is playing as Team Black. A wonderful bishop on e5. Also, white is up a pawn. Two very good reasons to prefer Team White here. Trying to get in this e4 push. Knight insists on getting the dark square bishop. It's just not happening. The bishop has too many squares along this diagonal. In betweener, okay, so we still have material plus. A bad bishop, poor development on the black side, a weak pawn. h7 is hit. Maybe this was better. To have a flight square, to defend against the threat and still have a flight square, which would be on a dark square. Rook here, material-wise, okay, still down. Time-wise is about even. And how do you get this bishop out of here? Okay, now would repair the structure a little bit to exchange queens, so that's why we're having that avoided. And this guy is actually 23-20. Okay, now we're having the queen trade at the cost of pawn structure. It's not a bad idea. Get the king to f6 and have this pawn push. Have to open up this diagonal for the bishop. I don't know if I would have, as white, put a pawn fixed on a light square. He's a potential target. Bishop here, you have to be reacting. So we are having this another pawn that's a potential target. So what do you do about this? Actually, now I'm preferring black. Black is the side who's better. In fact, this pawn is blockaded. Two pawn advantage. Now this pawn is following. This is a one king and pawn endgame. Another pawn on a light square. Wow. Did the tables turn with that one? Black down 2 seconds. But has 3 pawns. I will be taking black any day. Plenty of time. Resignation. Interesting start. Let's try this one. Nap 3. This guy, I can say for sure, has never fallen for an h2 mate. I've tried time and time again against Nap 3 to get mate on h2, but it just never happens. So if you're looking for a good setup with how to defend against those little tricks, this guy knows a way to do it. He's never fallen for it. And apparently there is no action here. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. 2144 versus 1953. Fast development, a Dutch defense, striking at the center. c4, knight c3. Okay. Fianchetto. This bishop, very strong. I would be recapturing with the knight as well, because you want to keep this diagonal clear. This knight is looking to regroup. That's why we're again having piece captures on d4. This bishop does not want to be obstructed. d5 now becomes a hole. Knight b1 to c3 might not be a bad idea. I don't know how well placed he would be on f3. The bishop is observing this square, but now it runs into potential e4 advances, and sure enough, we are having that. The elimination of the light square bishops is a good thing. You probably better play here right now, otherwise black gets to free up this d-pawn, or exchange an unhealthy d-pawn for a perfectly healthy c-pawn. That was check. Bishop takes here is available, exploiting the pin on the rook. But maybe capturing here first is best, because this could be an annoying thorn. f3. Okay, still this pin you have to take with the king. Otherwise you wouldn't have that threat. You wouldn't have that pin anymore. The bishop, if it drops back, there's g5. g5 is available. Subjects the king. g5 was there, but it was missed. This pawn is hit 3 times. Maybe look for a c5 or an e5 push. Less than 10 seconds for black. Down on time and position. And now we're just up a rook. Up a clean rook. This is game over. Is it not? Less than 5 seconds. We're going to have resignation. Resignation. Next game. Jump in. That one. This one is different. 2 different players. Blumen versus Batter Bombs. Knight takes queen with check. That's game over. Rook takes, it's a mate in 2. Okay, what's the cleanest approach? Probably just take the rook and take the bishop. Rook takes bishop, knight takes bishop. Take the bishop. Okay, get the queen on this diagonal. No, actually don't do that. Rook here, get the rooks off. When you have that particular imbalance, actually it's not even an imbalance here. When it's the imbalance queen versus rooks, you want to trade off one of the rooks. It messes up with white's coordination, and that's a fork. They had bishop takes knight. I guess they missed that and thought they were maybe just down more material. Next game. Manual 1795 versus 2118. I think I've played this guy before. Uh-oh. What did this come out of? A Scandinavian? Big trouble. Where's the queen have to go? A place where she can't develop, and now this is a nasty pin. Probably try to, well, castle on opposite sides, essentially, since you don't want to castle queenside, and you can't castle queenside. C3 is hit. This bishop is hit. Bishop takes knight. Queen takes bishop. Remove the defender. Bishop takes knight. If bishop takes knight, bishop takes bishop. No, we're not having that. The bishop is gone, just like that. Rook b1. Yeah, knight here. Don't do knight here, actually. It's tempting. It was definitely tempting. Pawn push here. Bishop takes knight. You can't defend like that. So how do you defend? Knight here. Knight here with b6. That's a good structure. That'll secure the whole king side. Although it's hit 3 times now. Oh, the king's going to have to run. 25 to 23, 24. The king is running for his life. It's still running for his life. There's going to have to be a block on d7. If king here, queen takes pawn, the knight or rook would have to block. Another check. We're going to be having that? No, we're not. The rook is there to block. This knight is a very good defender against queen checks when she's checking the king. That's when she's very close to the king when she checks or tries to check. Rook takes rook is the threat. This rook is not doing anything, and we might be having something against this king over here. White is just down on time and position. Black wins. What is another one here? How about this one? Dill's Gambit. Team Black, and looking pretty good here, being up material. Oh, okay. I thought for a second, take the queens, the rook takes, and then bishop takes knight, but the rook would be guarding here. Material is even. This pawn is passed. This bishop is super annoying. Flight square needed for black. Less than 15 seconds to do it. The pawn is marching. Oh, watch out for back rank mates. Both sides are sensitive to back rank mates. 16 seconds. Mate on g2. It's defended again. g5. Highly committal, but maybe it's good. Oh, going back and forth. Queen trade. Gotta play fast. 8.2 seconds for black. Rook and pawn endgame. There's still possibilities for mate. Still possibilities for mate on h1. Or the h-file. The h-file, that's mate. Oh, nice. Backdoor. That was a backdoor threat. Oh, nice. Oh, king up and rook over. Who saw that one coming? Okay, again. Dill's Gambit is coming off of a stunner right there. An unexpected mate. Knight g4 is available. I think you had to do h3 before f4. Space advantage for black. This pawn looks like he's just going to be picked up. Knight e2 to f3. Or g2 here. Take. Yeah, bishop g2 to here. There's no saving him. Pawn push is available. This pawn is pinned. Castled on opposite sides. Push pawns. Exploit this pin. Put another piece on it. Knight e2 to here. Don't take. Knight e2 to f4. Get your last piece working. Or that. Win a piece. It's more direct. g5. That was the last safe square the bishop had on e7. 41 to 34. Now I guess you could take. Since queen takes is there. Or maybe bishop here. Queen takes pawn though. Okay. Finally the last piece is in there. Rook here is not a good idea. The queen would take twice and then the queen would have to block. Okay, knight here hitting the queen. Push this pawn a couple times. Very good. h5, h6 weakens the dark squares, and this king is going to be in some serious hot water. Very nice. So take here, open up this diagonal, get rid of this pawn, queen here. Check and then mate on g7. Okay, it's the bishop who's trying to get to that square. The queen would be even better. Try to envision that queen on that g7 square. Black is trying to hold on for dear life, but I don't see it happening. Bishop could take here. Bishop takes bishop. Less than 10 seconds. That was a free bishop, wasn't it? I think it was. Queen here. This is what you would really like. Queen g7. Less than 5. Okay, getting out of the way. It's a clearance. Queen g7? Nope. Okay, that was just a do that no matter what. My opponent didn't have any time. White won that one. These are all the top games. This is the leader right here. Batter bombs? 16 seconds to 24 seconds. Knight's still on the board. A piece is gone. Oh, G2. I know the feeling. I know the feeling of G2. Watch out. If the rook is here and there's a knight on F3, you could weave a mate. There goes a rook or a pawn. Oh, you missed that. 3.1 seconds for white. Not happening. Serious time advantage. Serious. Rook F2 to here. Do something sneaky or you're going to lose on time. Take the rook, quick. Ah, black won. No time. I was just ready to say back to tournament. Let's take a look at this game. Nap here. I accidentally clicked on this. This is not one of the top games. Down 2 minor pieces is white. The rook up and over. Is a possibility? No. No possibility. No hope. We're going to have mate soon. Very soon. Queen trade. I missed that. Queen takes queen. This game's over. I'm done looking at that one. That one's over. Another top game. What's the leaderboard, actually? 50, 41, 39. Okay. Let's take a look at this guy. Team Black. Let's look at it from Black's perspective. Let's see how Black's doing. Time is even. Ooh. What an interesting endgame. 3, 6. Material is even. Who would you prefer? Definitely white. Doubled pawns. You don't want to keep your pawns on dark squares. This king could sneak in on these light squares. King here. King there. Put pressure on this pawn. Or this one. Get this bishop active. Bishop here to here. Bishop here to here is very good. Not now. There's not a better position for the king, I don't believe. King needs to stay here. Now this pawn, you might have this deflected. King here, king here. This pawn push might have been available, and now white is up material. Bishop takes here is available. There goes the H pawn. Now the A pawn is rumbling. 2 passed pawns. Good king position. Now even better king position, and even worse here for black. So these pawns are going to roll. White has 15 seconds to what? A good time edge. 13 seconds to less than 3. Team White is going to score a touchdown very soon. White wins. Forfeit on time. Let's check another one out. Dill's Gambit again. He's up there. 42 points. 42 points, and this seems like it came about from some. Oh, it's a Benoni, some type of Benoni structure. And this is a problem now. Even if black didn't have this B pawn, it's still very difficult. This pawn will be killed any second. Pawn push, there's no contesting this A file with black's control of A1 now. So this knight will look to regroup. Where's his ideal square? Oh, this isn't a bad one. Are we going to have some action on the H file now? He did something like this earlier. You got to watch over this pawn. Okay, rook here. There's maybe ideas. Okay, that's the lateral defense is best. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Okay, get on the F pawn. Black is completely committed to this queen side, this section of the board. Or no, what am I talking about? The queen is here to defend against F7. She has to drop back to G7. This is winning material. And ooh, these pawns are very deep, so this is a pass B pawn. Maybe push right away or just go right after this. Connected pass pawns. 2 sets of connected pass pawns. Oh, man. You have to get the king involved. I think this was not a good idea. This king is there to defend. Very nice move, though. King here to defend. King D8. Less than 4, 3, 2, 1. No time? They weren't moving? To check the server? 1.9. Wow. They used a ton of time. Rook here would have been best. White wins. Wow. Let's check out another game from Mr. Dill's Gambit there. That was a sharp game there. Let's see another one right out of the gates. How's this guy playing here? What is going on? So some type of a scotch opening, it seems. Take that knight? No, you don't. You don't want to open up that E file so quickly. Rook here would deter black from taking this knight, because now we could have rook check Rook check and then queen here, and there wouldn't be a way to get out of the pin. Highly committal move, moving that g-pawn twice. This pawn is now hit. Oh, giving up a pawn just to rip open the black kingside position. But white doesn't have a lot of development here. Black is the better developed side. This knight is not far off from obtaining a good post on e4 or d5. Eliminate the dark square bishop would be nice, and then get the bishop on this diagonal. Black is not allowing that, and by dropping back, queen h4 is available. Knight here, pawn push again. We're going to see another pawn land on f6. Ouch! Oh, man. Knight takes knight, pawn takes bishop with check. Oh, man. This is going to go downhill. There's not a better post for that queen. Nice and central on the light square, covering any potential checks here, up a piece. There might even be some rook checks. There's not a way to get the queen on this diagonal just yet, but bishop here to here looks simple and good. Okay, queen trade. This is mate. Queen takes queen, bishop here. Game over. Lights out. Ouch. Those dark squares, that pawn sack on f6 just to disrupt the heart of that structure, that g7 pawn, is brutal. 87 to 40. This is the leader right here, playing as white, who is now down on time. 7.6 to 12. Has an advantage. No, it doesn't even have an advantage. I prefer white or black objectively here. A nice bishop post, two connected passed pawns, securing g7, 0.3 seconds. It's not happening. Actually, there would be a one rook at that point. Black wins that one. And now I think we're going to have a shift here with the leaderboard. 85-82. Are those two guys going to be paired up? Let's see. 85-82. How's this guy doing? 85-82. White. This is the guy who's in second place, who's playing as white. Okay, preserving the bishop. Ideally, since black does not have a dark square bishop and white does, you want to get that bishop on this dark diagonal. So c4 is good to not only kick the knight, but get bishop c3 in. Pig on the 7th. I still like this move. Watching over these light squares, not a bad idea at all. c4 also allows bishop takes pawn one day. a4, c4 come to mind. You already, as white, have a flight square. I'm not quite sure what the queen move is doing. And she has to play here. Every other square is covered. No, actually, queen takes pawn here was available. Okay, maybe white's going to try this again. Pawn push. The knight is finally kicked. And black, I think, should be trying to break down this structure. So opposite color bishop ending. How exactly do you assess this? You don't want to weaken your light squares. White is doing well to have pawns on light squares. Works well with this bishop, and now is targeting these weaklings on c5 and a4. White's persistent with pigs on the 7th. Looking to maybe get some push in. If the bishop moves, it's going to be bad news. Very nice to break down this dark square diagonal with g5 and f4. It's going to make that bishop rumble, and we just simply have no time for black. White wins that one. It is maybe first or second at this point. 102 to 89. 102 to 89. Where is that guy? Right somewhere. 89, 89. This guy is up there. Let's look at it from his perspective. Team Black is one of the leaders. 89 points. Up a full piece and down just a little bit of time, but is getting something back. Not so fast though. Oh, okay, wait a second. What am I talking about? Just a pawn advantage now for black. This pawn is covered. This knight is going to be trapped. Bishop here, bishop here, bishop here. Oh, bishop here would trap the knight. You can still have it. Bishop here. Oh, bishop right here. Right? And then bishop here to c4, and the knight would be dead. You have to be careful about the knights on those edges. A bishop placed 3 squares away from it on just running from the edge of the board cuts off all squares that it could be going to, and this is a 1 king and pawn endgame now for Team Black. Team Black, 17 seconds, new queen on the scene, and this is going to be game over. Black wins. We have resignation. Leaderboard, 109, 102 from Nepal versus Ellie. Okay, let's check out Ellie here playing against Nap, who's up there as well. I think this is the leader right here with 102. Black's perspective, this is the leader, and it looks like it's going to be mate very soon. Very, very soon. Discovered tricks here. This bishop does nothing, nor does this one until one of these two pawns move. And it's only really ever one of these two bishops that could ever do something. You push here, he's kind of dead. You push here, he's not doing much. One or the other, but not both. Bishop here, check, and bishop takes pawn with check. You could keep going back and forth. It's really the queen that wants to get to this square, and that's what black is setting up. But now white is getting their rook active. Less than 7 seconds for black. Less than 7 seconds. This is the leader here. Let's check your queen here. Less than 3 seconds. Do I have the times correct? White wins. The leader just forfeited on time. Back to the leaderboard. 109 to 100. Okay. All right. Let's check out this guy. This is the leader. Team white, who better be very careful. This pawn is actually acting as a good defensive piece for white. You capture here and you're more vulnerable on the dark squares. This knight is hit. This queen is a monster. Wow. Defends the knight. Just keep this bishop sitting. What's that? That's allowing queen here, mate. Queen takes pawn, queen here. Whoa. Queen takes pawn. What's happening? What is black thinking about? The queen is hit. Queen takes pawn. You don't have to defend the bishop. You got mate on a1. Oh, it was missed. Oh, there goes the queen. Just like that, the tables turn. Oh, white is up now. Material and time. No hope. Oh, an interesting opportunity there to get down to that a1 square. The leader is still up there. Won that game 129 to 110. Less than 9 minutes remain. All right. Let's check this guy out again. Is he going to slip up? If he doesn't slip up, it's going to be game over. Tournament over. Very fast development. Serious issue on this diagonal. The queen gets out of it right away. The knight is ready to look for discovery. White was looking to get rid of the knight and then take on h7. Uh-oh. This is going to make black think. The bishop's there to defend. White's trying to remove the defenders, but is running out of fuel. Black has plenty of defenders. There's no way to get another piece in. You could take here twice if you really wanted to. Unnecessary, I guess. Throw the knight in here. Or here. Get this f-pawn rolling. The queen is hit. Black has enough defenders, but this pawn is going to run down. And oh, mate on h2. No, g2. It's defended with f4. The queen is there laterally. Here comes the a-pawn. The knight is going to be kicked, and it could come down here. This could be a problem. This is covered. Knight here, not an issue. h6. Okay, oh, you're trying to deflect the queen from defense here. Kick that queen out of there. Release the pressure against g2 somehow. Okay, now the rook is there to defend, which frees up the queen. We're about even on time, 28s each. Pawn push, this is very scary now for black. Swinging this knight over here to defend is backfired because white is advancing the pawns with tempo. And this is losing material. Uh-oh. Oh, you could have just taken here. There's now rook check. Bishop takes here first. Oh, missed opportunity. There's check. Down on time. Black is down on time. Just a little bit. It's tough to get out of the pin. Rook here, so the bishop here is available. So the rook can finally move. This rook is here. This rook is defended. Rook takes rook. Opposite color bishop ending. Go fast. 10 seconds remaining. G2. Oh, there goes a rook. Don't blink. Don't blink. There goes a bishop. Run with this pawn. Oh, this is going to be game over. If white knows how to play fast, this is going to be game over. Push, push, push. That's mate. That's mate. It's going to be mate. Oh, the leader slipped up. He dropped back, which means what? How have things changed, if at all? 127, 126. Let's check out another one. 127, 126. Let's see how this guy's doing. The 126. This guy is in second place, and he's needing to keep winning here. I would really like this structure if black was still uncastled and there could be some play on the H file. This knight would love to be on D3, looking at that furthest advanced pawn and the support points it has. D3 as a whole, is there really a great way to get him there? I guess I'm not sure what knight here is doing. I like the idea of knight f5, d6 to c4. That seems the most reasonable square to get to. This is covered. He's going really in a direction that's making him offsides. The knight has to come back. There's not a better square, and now we're losing material. Ouch. Black is slipping up here. We're having the leaders towards the end here slipping up, but playing against a tough player here. 2209 Mark Gibson. And a time edge, too. Up a piece and up 10 seconds. This looks very, very promising for Team White. I think Black, again, was going astray with those knight moves. White seeking exchanges, also looking to just go after this pawn. Who cares about this guy? Go right after him. Okay, removing the knight. Rook takes pawn, bishop check. King has to play here. The rook is gone. This is going to be another W. Another W for somebody who's not as a leader there. How have things changed there? The leader slipped up, which means, is anybody else available? 148, Dill's Gambit out of nowhere. Sneaking up, he is apparently rebounded from that nasty mate that happened with the bishop going to this square. I forget what color he was, but there was that bishop check, and then mate, his king was in the corner. Looking for mate on g7, that is defended immediately. Light square issues for Team White. Let's look from Black's perspective. This is the leader, 148, Dill's Gambit, 25 seconds to 33 seconds. What's this king going to do if the bishop plays here? If the bishop plays here, that's basically saying, king, you can't go anywhere. Neither direction is good. Okay, can you break down this diagonal? The queen is there. Up a piece. Drop this bishop back. Rook takes pawn here. Even on time. Pawn push. Oh, they were in pre-move mode. This pawn's falling. Hit twice. Rook check. You could sneak this king all the way up here and grab f2. There's no activity for the rook, and that would have been a nasty check right here. Pawn push. Very nice. Actually, you have to give up the pawn. Get the king working. Oh, this is mate. Boom, boom. That's mate. That would have been mate on h1. Yeah, that bishop was covering the h1 square. Plenty of time to do it, though. 12 seconds. 148. This is going to turn into 168. Black wins, and with that, still maintains the lead. 168, 137. Let's watch the leader. If he does not slip up, he is going to win. This is his last game or second to last game, and he has a tough opponent. 21-28. Dill's Gambit in the lead, 168. If he wins here, I think he has the tournament. Bishop check. This is coming out of the what? I missed it. Okay, no. Scandinavian defense. So this could be annoying. Pawn push is not a threat because there's this pin. Black sees that immediately. Still not a threat. Until there's castle, it's not a threat. But castling might allow for bishop takes. Pawn on h3. Castle, king side, castle, queen side. Opposite sides castling. The queen is hit. Bishop here. I thought queen here, castle, and then something like g4. This rook is opposite the queen, so knight c5 might be available. g4, knight takes pawn is there. There was still that pin. There's still that pin for as long as the queen was on the h file. c4 is hit. Defend like this. Bishop here, dark square weaknesses. Castle. Get castled. Pawn takes 34 seconds to 30. 34, 34. The knight is hit. The knight is defended. Pawn push here is needed. Or no, mate, this is a mate threat. This is a mate threat. These squares are covered by the bishop. That's very difficult to stop. You can't stop it. Oh, yeah, you could. You could do that move. The king has a square. Finally, he could breathe. King here. If knight takes on a7. I wasn't seeing that defense. Just the rook lift so that the king had another square. You couldn't move. You couldn't do anything about the knight getting to a7, so you had to make some air for the king. 20 seconds to 17 seconds. Time edge. And, oh, how do you even keep track of this game? 3 minor pieces each. This pawn is going to fall. The bishop is hit. Rook takes h3. The king is in check. Take on h3. Tricky knights. Who knows how many forks have been missed. Take this knight. Knight in pawn game. Less than 10 seconds for Team Black. It looks pretty good here. There's knight check. This pawn's going to fall. There's check here. King here. Time is catching up. Black is flying. Black has kicked it into a new gear. Less than 5 seconds for white. This pawn is going to fall. Tricky checks. 4, less than 5. Less than 5 to 8. Oh, go fast. Less than 4. Run, king. Game aborted. Oh, that was a terrible finish. I guess the tournament finished. Oh. Oh, it didn't even allow him to get that last win. Oh, he was so close to getting that win, maybe. Oh, I know how that feels. What a tight one, though. From Nepal, the winner. It's 177, Nap 3, 168, Dill's Gambit, 168. Missing out on those tie breaks. Top 3 finishers. Those guys were going back and forth. Good tournament. Good games all. Alrighty.